checking out one of the oldest rock arts in the area. And unfortunately, I've already broken it. G'day legends, it's Mark here from North Oz, and thank you for joining me in today's video, which is the first video of a series that we are doing here on the channel, where I'm showing you some local four-wheel drive tracks and also sharing with you some awesome areas that we have here. Some places you like to visit yourself if you want to come here, or if you already live here, you can go and check them out too. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you my backyard in this series. So today we're at the Dindin State Forest, and what we're interested in here today is a little bit of four-wheel driving, but we're also going to be checking out one of the oldest rock arts in the area, in the Cairns area, and it's about 3,500 years old. So I'm really looking forward to, I haven't actually been here before, this is a new one for me, so I'm doing a little bit of exploring myself today. Yeah, and we've got some four-wheel drive tracks to get there as well, so I'm looking forward to sharing this video with you guys. It's going to be a good time, so enough talking, let's get stuck into it. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that drone footage, something a little bit different. I thought I'd change it up a little bit. We're about 10 Ks in now from the Davies Creek Road. So I showed you most of the toughest obstacles, very straightforward, nothing too crazy. You do need a little bit of lift on your car, something like a Subaru Outback or something like that, you know, with a little bit of lift. That would help, But, you know, not a serious track by any means in the dry season. We're in the middle of the dry season. but I can imagine in the wet season there was a lot of washouts, so I imagine that it would be pretty hectic in the wet season. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that drone footage, because it cost me about $2,000 because I got about 20 minutes in, and yeah, I broke the drone already. So I thought, you know, what would be really nice for you guys is let's up the quality of the videos a little bit. Let's make this series, you know, just that extra little step of video quality for you guys. Production value, let's increase it. And unfortunately, I've already broken it. The arm of this has already snapped off. It hit a tree. So there you go. It was on follow mode, and it's supposed to stop when it hits or before it hits an obstacle, and clearly it didn't stop. So there you go. Not the best start to the trip, but anyway, if you don't see any drone footage for the rest of this video, you know what happened. But yeah, anyway, we'll brush that one off, and we'll get stuck in to this rock art site. So I'm looking forward to getting into this hike. Apparently it's an hour round trip. So yeah, we'll get stuck into it, and I'll show you what we can find. Let's do it. The weather couldn't have been better for today's hike. It was a cool 25 degrees, and the constant wind coming up through the valley made for a very comfortable walk. Along the hike there are a number of signposted trees and plants providing information about scientific names and what some of the trees were used for by the Aboriginal people. This particular tree was used to make weapons, as well as other useful resources such as track markers. This area was used extensively for hunting, where Aboriginal men would light fires to flush out wallabies, snakes and goannas. Fire and animals play a large role in the story of this area. The first of the rock art galleries depicts this area as a birthplace. This was the result of a man being accidentally burnt by two women and subsequently passing away in this very place. From that day on, women would come here to give birth to their children. It's incredible that the stories have lived on for 3,500 years. Something worth mentioning is the seashells that you'll find all throughout the area, and also all throughout far north Queensland. Obviously, the sea hasn't been here for quite some time, and you'll find seashells in a lot of places, especially around the caved areas. The second gallery and the last one on the walk shows wallabies, which represent a major food source. But it is a bit unfortunate to see, as time is getting the better of this artwork due to water flowing over the granite, causing algae, which is slowly carving out the ochre stained rock. So now that we've done the drive in and we had a little bit of a look around the rock art, which was incredible, there was a lot that happened there. And the first rock art was the most interesting, which I would have told you guys about. But that one for me was a very fascinating story. Now we're on the way out now, and you know, just going over some of the big mounds and stuff that they have here. And I'm on the way out, and I just wanted to share with you guys a couple of tips. So a couple of tips for the area. First question that I get asked all the time is, what gear did I take? It's the very first question people want to know about the equipment. I tried to film this section actually outside, but it was just so windy out here. It was lovely and cool, but couldn't get any recording done. So the gear that I brought with me, so if I'm ever unsure about what sort of terrain that I'm going to be going over, at minimum I take my Max Tracks. At minimum, if I'm doing any sort of little bit of exploring, nothing too crazy, but just doing a little bit of exploring, Max Tracks are a given. I always take my first aid kit, first thing that I grab, because, you know, for obvious reasons, but we have snakes out here, and you know, having a good snake bite kit is something that I recommend you guys invest in, especially if you are doing a lot of stuff around Australia. Another thing that I brought along with me for the first time is actually a stool. So I bought this pretty cool stool, and it was only like $20. bucks, and it's handy for a bit of flat surface. So if you want to use that to store some things on while you're doing things, or if you wanted to, you know, do what I did, which was I had some lunch on it, which was pretty awesome. So for 20 bucks, you can't go wrong. I'll leave a link to that one in the description as well. Not sponsored or anything, but I just love just chucking it in the car because the chair that I have, the big, it just takes up too much room and it's too much of a hassle. I love just being able to fold that up really quickly and then unfold it and away I go. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that one. Now with the food situation, I did not bring my fridge. I just brought a very small cheap esky, and I also brought just again just a cheap way to store a couple of liters of water. Perfect for a morning of exploring. Don't need anything more than that, and try not to get too hung up on the whole gear situation, guys. I get that a lot, and people say, oh, do I need to have, you know, a modified vehicle to be able to go and do this sort of stuff? No, you absolutely don't. All right, this is a stock standard Hilux. Although it does look pretty mean, it is still a stock standard Hilux. You know, so the suspension isn't like super off-roady and stuff, so I do feel quite a few bumps in that, but you guys don't need to have all the gear to be able to get out and explore, so please keep that in the back of your mind. I did a lot of exploring on the cheap when I had my old, very old, when I started the channel, my old Nissan Navara, and that thing got me everywhere I wanted to go, and yeah, and I didn't need anything more than that. So just keep that in the back of your mind. You don't need some crazy built vehicle to be able to go out and do the fun stuff. Couple of tips for the area if you guys are coming around here. One is keep an eye out on the weather. So one, make sure it's not too hot. If you're someone who feels the heat a little bit, I mean, as it is right now, it's only like 25 degrees, but it was hot on the walk. So, you know, if it's like 30 degrees down in Cairns and that, yeah, maybe reconsider. You know, have a think about maybe have a think about the heat and how they'll affect you. It's about a 40-minute return walk, something like that. So you know, there's a bit to it. Make sure you bring plenty of water and all that sort of stuff. Another thing as well is that if it's been raining lately, it hasn't really rained much here at all, and there's quite a bit of water on the road. So I would just keep an eye out just for the rain and for the weather. That's probably two of my biggest tips. Now, if you guys are looking at the map to get here and you're having a look at your own maybe HEMA maps or whatever it is that you run, you'll see that there is a road that extends beyond here, and all of the roads around this area actually all connect. They all connect with one another, which is pretty cool. But unfortunately, they have been closed. They are closed, and they have been closed for quite a while. So at Lake Morris Road to Coppola Dam Road, that is all closed off, so you can't go past that that area that we were just at. So just keep that in mind, that you know, once you go down this road, it is a closed road. You're not going to go any further past the rock art area. So that's all the advice that I have for today, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, please like the video and share it around, because the more people that we can get to like the video, perhaps I can make some of my money back on my drone. But anyway, it's all good. And yeah, so if you guys want to follow along, make sure you click the subscribe button, and I would love to have you guys along if you aren't a regular here. And it was a great day, guys. I really enjoyed taking you along with me today. I hope you enjoyed the slightly different sort of video format today. And yeah, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this and you want to see some more of these adventures around my hometown. So yeah, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the comment section. See you there.